Coming up next on Cordisco's Corner, Donald J. Trump at Real Donald J. Trump. Almost 89 million followers. Account suspended. He was the president of the United States. If they had done that to Barack Obama, I would be just as mad. Hi, folks. Welcome to Cordisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. Not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back. From Fox News, Devin Nunes, all in on Trump Truth social media platform, says he is still doing a public service. Let's give a round of applause for Devin. 20 years in Congress, that's a lot of time away from your family. I'm sure it was tough on him. And he did a stand-up job. I wish him the best because it helps our country too. Let's read on. Nunes says of Trump's Truth Social, millions of Americans and people around the globe are counting on us to get this done. Yeah, especially in the United States. Exclusive. A former representative Devin Nunes, he's from California, by the way, and there isn't a hell of a lot of R's in Congress in California, is sharing new details about Truth Social and his decision to leave Congress to take on big tech. As the CEO of Trump Media and Technology Group, vowing to create the first freest social media platform for users across the United States and around the world. In an exclusive interview with Fox News, his first since retiring from Congress after nearly 2 decades represented in California's 22nd Congressional District, and after leading the House Intelligence Committee for nearly a decade. Yeah, being on the Intelligence Committee, you know a lot of unrefrigerated fish, folks. And you know a lot of people in the intelligence service. And you know which ones are the good ones and which ones are the bad ones. He was on that for nearly a decade. Nunes says his new chapter is not political, but instead a continuation of his public service. I mean, he could say it's political in a sense. He's a conservative. He's a Republican. That's okay. I still see what I'm doing as a public service. It is not political, but as a public service, Nunes told Fox News. This has to be done. I agree. This has to be done. This is the most important issue at the highest level. If half of the United States is to be silenced, is the death of this republic, whether you agree with them or not. If somebody said you could flip a switch and all the social media sites would be all pro-conservatives and all anti-woke progressive libtards, I would still have a problem. It is very serious what we're doing, he continued. Millions of Americans and people around the globe are counting on us to get this done and get it done right. Yeah, they feel like their voices have been taken away from them. Nunes announced his resignation from Congress in December, and soon after was named by former President Trump to be CEO of Trump Media and Technology Group. Nunes said the move shouldn't come as a surprise, telling Fox News that he had been sounding the alarm on big tech suppression and disinformation for the last several years, which he has. It was hard for me to say no because it is an issue I've been most passionate about over the past few years. You would have to be hiding under a rock not to know my frustration with these big tech companies. Nunes said he always flirted with technology, knowing he was one of the first in Congress to send text messages to constituents beginning as early as 2009. Back in the last century, if it was 1909, they would say 1009. Interesting. Or 1909 would be what they would say. Why we don't say 2009? I don't know. Nunes also developed a digital arm of the National Republican Congressional Committee. Nunes McCarty is one of the first elected officials to transition to Rumble, an alternative video platform to YouTube. Trump Technology Group last month announced a cloud service partnership with Rumble. I was the first to be shadow banned on Twitter, so let's give him a round of applause for that. Actually, I would wear that with a badge. I would wear that with a badge of honor. I was the first to go to Parler and be on the website, an app. This has long been a problem. Yeah. And there they are. The monsters, the anti-democratic, anti-free speech, mega billion trillion dollars monsters. I can't think of the right description of them. Well, I do, but I can't say this because it's YouTube. There we go. Twitter, Amazon, Facebook, and Google. And I'll tell you the truth, honestly, as a former small businessman for over 20 years, I give him a lot of kudos. I mean, Bezos is a piece of garbage, but he started something from nothing. I mean, doing books on folding tables. I mean, you know, same with Facebook and Twitter. I'll give them, they grew these giant companies. It's what they turned into and what they do I have a problem with. Nunes points to his book, Countdown to Socialism, knowing that it was largely about how big tech companies are stopping average Americans from being able to learn what's happening across numerous sectors, not just politics. Americans from being able to learn what's happening across numerous sectors. That's exactly right. And those of you that are thinking of the Hunter Biden laptop, ding, 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 that stands out as one of the main, will go down in history as one of the main evils and disservice to this country that any giant corporation has ever done. If we don't get some alternative media platforms going, it's going to be really tough, Nunes said. He's right. Since Trump was banned from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat after the January 6th Capitol riot, a number of Trump allies had waded into the world of technology, attempting to create alternate platforms for conservatives. Former Trump senior advisor Jason Miller launched Getter, an alternative to Twitter. I'm on Getter myself, slowly starting to put more and more content on it. And even former Trump campaign aide Brad Parscale launched Campaign Nucleus, which is set to have a social media component. Now look at that for a minute. Donald J. Trump at Real Donald J. Trump. Almost 89 million followers. Account suspended. He was the president of the United States. If they had done that to Barack Obama, I would be just as mad. It's disgusting. That's saying, you know what? You're the leader of the free world. You are the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military in the world and the largest economy. But we're more important. We are more powerful than you. So here you are. Shove it. It's amazing to me that they have the coolions to do this. And not only did they get away with it, they were praised by cable news. But Truth Social, which Nunes says is just being finalized right now, is intended to be only a small part of ultimately what we envision this company to be. I hope they're incredibly successful, just for one simple reason, and that is competition for these monster high-tech platforms. As for the larger Trump Technology Group vision, Nunes said we are taking a three-pronged approach. You have True Social platform, but we also are heavily looking at streaming and having a streaming service. Well, got to give another round of applause for that. And that is in development right now, Nunes said. We're also looking at how do we deliver the news and deliver news to people that is more conceptual. Nunes explained that the True Social is just the first component of Trump Technology Group, saying they are focused on making its launch, which is expected in the first quarter of 2022, successful. Now, my understanding is going to be President's Day, which is next month. We have to have a really high-quality product, but we are looking at multiple product lines down the road. As for Truth Social platform, Nunes said they want to be safe, and that is a key. A safe, family-friendly platform does not censor based on politics. So I'll probably have to use my beeper a little bit more. Well, it's more like Twitter. You can't post videos like this, but you can put links. So all of these companies that are out there that are an alternative to big tech, we believe we help them all, Nunes said. A rising tide lifts all boats, and they are fighting against such tech tyrants. I love that expression, tech tyrants. Truth Social, while not yet public, is available for pre-order in the App Store. Nunes explained the platform offers a message board for users to post their thoughts and gives them the ability to post photos and videos. Must be the new logo. The photo component is very slick, very simple, very slick, Nunes said, adding that Truth Social will also have verified accounts for public figures. Yeah, I mean, you can't have somebody's name, Donald J. Trump, and then have somebody take it. I get that. There is a quality user-friendly product, saying that this will not be any algorithms used to prioritize certain posts to certain users. Well, I got to give that one 2 applause. Saying that will not be any algorithms used to prioritize certain posts to certain users. It will be in chronological order, and the feed will be so that you don't miss what your distant relative posted about their kid's soccer game over the weekend. That's what happens now on your platforms, and we just serve so much garbage all the time. He added, we want this to be something that you're not worried about your kids or your grandparents being on. As for critics, Nunes said, you ban us and ban the president. Okay, we're going to raise the capital and build the company. This is not a Republican company. It's not going to be a company. It's going to be a company open to all Americans. It is going to be the freest platform for sure, because we're not going to be using those algorithms. We're going to get the technology right. There is no question, Nunes said, sticking to Trump's timeline. The key will be, can we handle the growth? Yeah, they're gonna get a whole ton all at once. Maybe it'll crash the system at the beginning. That's probably expected. We'll see. This has to be built without any of these companies that would cut us off. Yeah, like they did to Parler. He added, we can't use any of the woke corporations or private woke corporations, so all of this has to be developed from scratch. Tech companies out there, you've awoken a sleeping giant. And they go through the rest about Truth Social if you want to read it in the money. He will use it however he sees fit, meaning the President Trump. Like we hope all Americans will. And ultimately, we will venture outside the United States also, and then there will be additional products. Now, you tech idiots, you got Donald Trump out. But at what cost? I think this is going to cost you your future. Frankly, I think it will. Penny wise and pound foolish. She should have never, ever thrown the President of the United States, the sitting president, mind you, of the United States. Granted, the election was over and he did not win. Can't go into details about that because this is YouTube. But you've awoken a sleeping giant. There are over 75 million people whose voices have been stifled, who the information of the day has been taken away from. And you did it. You did it with your censorship. And I hope these tech companies die a slow and painful death. And it costs them billions. Billions and billions. Not to sound like Carl Sagan. I'm delighted. And I hope if it's even half of what the hype has put up about Truth Social, I'm all in as well. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.